And I'd like to welcome you to this stream. I'm just getting the last bits and pieces sorted out here before we get going. Sorry that I'm in a bit of a rush. I was watching Star Trek and I finished like the entire lot. I've watched every single episode now. And that last one finished about 10 minutes ago. And since then I've been getting like my tea and everything together. So I'm a little bit flustered. Let me just go and do one more thing here. Announcements, everyone. More Hearts of Iron for okay, so how is everyone doing? Let's just get that done. Boom, you're off. Magnificent. Right. Oh, getting followers already. This is a good sign. What was that? Oh, no, Streamlabs has decided to break. Come on, wakey wakey. No, you're not. Oh, come on. Log in. Alright, I think we're about good to go, almost, possibly, perhaps. Kumadru, thank you very much for the follow, I appreciate that. Am I going to pop it the world? Maybe not the entire world, but hey, it's a headline which might draw people in. Okay, multiplayer. No, this is not multiplayer, please don't crash. Single player, that's the right one. I was supposed to be doing multiplayer earlier with Igel and Bussy, but unfortunately that was postponed, so we're going to be doing that one on Thursday instead, but clearly I'm still in the mindset for that. So we're going to continue with our Austria game, where we had just finished the invasion of Britain. We've finished off the Third Internationale, so France has fallen, Britain has fallen, but nothing else has really happened yet. I will go through and do a bit of an overview of the world. Germany still exists, Russia still exists, the Ottomans amazingly still exist. They've actually beaten off the Axis, I believe. Oh no, they beat Hashemite Arabia. Persia never joined, and it's just Egypt. Hey, Puerto Rico, oh very cool. Good to have you here, Kamudru. Welcome, welcome. And the Americas, I've totally forgotten what was actually happening in America. Let's go and have a look. Right, the CSA is still fighting, the American Union States there, the USA is gone, and the Pacific States are actually looking pretty strong. So that is going to be interesting. Trans-Siberian Republic took a bunch of land from Russia. I don't think they're actually fighting though. No, they have a war goal against each other, but they're not actually at war. Reorganized China split away from Germany, so Germany is a little bit weaker. Moratia is fighting against the Entente, and I think that's the only one the Entente is fighting. Oh, and Denmark. I mustn't forget Denmark. And we are, of course, making puppets out of everything that can possibly be puppeted. So we've got England, Scotland, Wales, France, Normandy, Brittany, Italian Federation, Illyria, Hungary, Austria, Bohemia, Slovakia. I think that's it. I think that's it. Okay, so we have got a bunch of civilian factories because we have been building Austria up. Plus we will be getting factories from our various puppets as well, though obviously not as many as if we'd actually taken those countries properly. We are building naval yards in Trieste. That sounds entirely reasonable. Did we finish building our oil supply things? Pretty much. I mean, we can build 3 more. I think we may as well. Or 2 more. Where's... Oh, that was a different province. Okay, so we could get 2 more, which we've now done. And that's going to be it for those. Then I think we'll probably switch back to civilian factories and get the rest of our proper industry up and running. Maybe we'll start building some more in the puppets and things like that. But that should do. I've just noticed that this is actually kind of weird. The Streamlabs dashboard has changed. So the Streamlabs is the thing which like tells me when someone new has followed, and when we get the ho 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 thing coming up, that's all done by Streamlabs. Their dashboard seems to have changed, and it now tells me when people will be displayed as that thing, because that was always a thing, something that was kind of out of whack. And it says that Kumadru will be displayed in, let me get this right, 13 503,705,029 seconds. So I get a feeling that dashboard's broken. Something about the name Illyria makes it sound very elvish. That's true. And for that we should probably nuke it, because everything elvish is bad. Just watch my dwarven game. Okay, so... kind of... what's happening? We are importing oil from Persia. We've actually got a lot of oil, so I don't think we need to import that anymore. We are importing aluminium. We are 1 aluminium over, so we're going to stop importing our aluminium. We do need to import steel. And we will probably import that from Hungary. Okay, so at the moment most of our troops are coming from the Hungarians and the... no. Who are you again? Illyria and Hungary. Have we actually done anything with the Illyrian forces yet? I'm not sure we have. We have a bunch of Illyrians in training, but we haven't deployed them yet. We do have a lot of Hungarians, but they're not in our proper army. This is just like the auxiliary forces they provided with us. And then we have the Nova Legions, which are the Italians. So, yeah. And all of those guys are still over in England. We've just won the war, so we will not have any uprising problems. We probably will still need to fortify this, but I'm kind of hoping that the British will get their act together and fortify themselves in much the same way that Italy eventually did. And France. Like, Italy and France have actually got some very large standing armies now, so having them as puppets is going to be pretty nice. I'm not used to playing this puppet game, so I'm kind of happy about that. The other thing which I may want to do is start training some other division templates. One of the things which I hadn't really considered is that army experience is going to be more of a premium, because we're going to be using puppets and we're going to have to build templates for each of our puppet units. Are you using all of those? You are. I think we may get 1 or 2 more, so we may do a France puppet and an England puppet. And that should be all of the high population ones. Actually, let's have a look at France. You have 0 manpower. You have 0 manpower at extensive conscription. France, really? And you have 100k at volunteer only. So England we can definitely get volunteers from. So we're going to go with the English. Whoops. Oh no, this is the English one, right. I don't know why it's showing me those. So we have the infantry division. They seem to be suspiciously... Hang on. Oh, it was... Why are those using Austrian names? Alpenjäger Division. Garnison. Cavalry Division. Interesting. Alright, so let's have a look. This is lots of infantry. I mean, we could use those. We have the infantry with artillery, which would be slightly cheaper. Panzer Division, which we don't want to use. The garrisons and cavalry, no. And then the elite infantry, which... Oh, is this just using the Austrian divisions and just copying them as with English troops? That's probably what's happening. Has it always been that way? No, because they had their own billions and billions of divisions. They must... Because England doesn't exist as a country, they must have literally just copy and pasted ours. So let's start with the Infantry Division 2. We are going to duplicate you. We're going to call you the New Model Army. We are going to remove a bunch of infantry. We're going to add 1 more there, and then 2 more artillery. This is kind of our standard template. Field Hospital, Engineers, and Recon. Matthias, or Matthias, thank you very much for the follow, and Kiri Saiga also. So, 20. Cool. So now we have English troops as well that we can bring in. Let's change your icon. What would the English be? Do you have like a crown? We do have a crown. There we go, that's the English. Okay, so we have the Nova Legion, the New Model Army, Prussia. If anyone is here is from Croatia, Let me know what a cool name for an army would be, and we'll use that. Use the unicorns. No, I don't think we're going to be using the unicorns. Elf lives matter. Dwarves are superior. Lots of support for the dwarves here. Long beard for life, absolutely. Oh, definitely one of the funniest upgrades for the Dwarven Lords was the pure beard skill. I absolutely love that one, that was brilliant. Okay, so we have still got aircraft, and I believe we're actually doing pretty well for aircraft production. We've got a lot of naval bombers now, which we would have captured from the British, I think. We've actually got quite a few strategic bombers, and also light tanks, so we could produce some motorized, like, speedy divisions. I'm not planning to build any light tanks myself, but that is certainly something we can do. I think once we have Skoda, we're going to hold off getting focuses, although Embrace Pluralism is now available, so we can get all of that stuff, and of course we can get some more of the economic ones, and also and the army ones, which we haven't done at all. So there's a fair amount of focuses that we need to do. It's already 1941, but that should be fine. Germany, how's your army looking? Kind of scary. I do feel like that we need to start building some more troops. I mean, it's mostly artillery that we are short. We've got a bunch of heavy tanks. So we could, for example, with the new model armies, we could add some heavy tanks, because it's only going to be 40 per division. We're not going to need that many, so let's remove one of the infantry. Hit points are down somewhat, so they're not going to be quite as tough, but they will have armor, which the other units won't. So these guys are going to be extremely good at holding the line. And they will have more defense because artillery add more defense. Plus 15 versus there, plus actually infantry add more. Interesting. Maybe I will remove that. I will add anti-tank. And then one more infantry. How's that looking? That's more hit points. Organisation is down. 42. We've got almost no doctrine, so that should be fine. Weight I don't care about. Soft attack is down quite a lot, but you're not my damage dealers. You're there to hold the line. Hard attack is, oddly enough, down, even with the anti-tanks. Defense is slightly down, that's fine. Breakthrough is not important. And this, most importantly, doesn't cost artillery, or not much artillery. I think I'm going to do this for the new model army. It's something a little bit different. This is not a template I very frequently go with, but I like the idea of having a heavy tank focus. What happened to France and England? Mordred happened. Absolutely, Mordred happened. Yeah, things did kind of snowball, didn't they? And I also need to say Casanova Panda, Miskit Spazzetti, Liberato Le Boss, It's It. Thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate that. Okay, so that will do. We're building our factories. We are still producing weapons and things. Although I will need to rejig this because we have lost a bunch of factories because we have given France and England their independence. Ships are still being built. You can go. I think I'm going to reduce the number of guns I'm producing. We will need to produce more fighters, that's true. The main thing we need is artillery. And I'm okay going over on artillery for a while. I think we can probably cut back on the amount of motorized. I mean, until we get mechanized, we will be using motorized with our medium tanks. But that's going to have to be something else. Okay, so what focuses do we have and what do they allow us to do? So we're going to be getting, hopefully, the Federation of Equals. And then we're going to have the Austrian Sphere faction, then we can head down this. This doesn't seem to be adding any more focuses or anything. Okay, good. So I think we will need to start just justifying things, but I want to get Austria in order. We've been fighting since 1936, so 5 years of warfare and we've had no time to improve our industry or anything. So when it comes to that, we are kind of backwards. Everyone's going to be cancelling the non-aggression. That's fine. Namunda, you need to come home, buddy. I think I'm actually going to have you fortifying the German line here with the intention of taking this. The main reason for doing this is mostly just to build up preparation rather than actually expecting you to do much and then wreaking havoc. You could essentially do the same thing. I'm going to expect France can hold France. Wreaking havoc, I'll probably merge you with these guys once they are trained. So yeah, we'll send you to garrison this part of Austria. In fact, garrison forces, are you garrisoning this? You are. Good. I probably should build a second garrison force for England. I might just steal some of the English troops and do that myself. I need to make it a 7 years war. Yeah, that's true, the Kaiser. We had the Kaiser fighting for us here. Julius Ringel, aka Wilhelm II. Or is it the first? I'm pretty sure it's the second. Second. Right. We need to go and get some tea. Oh, teapot's hot. So who should we go for next? Legitimate question. I'm kind of thinking Spain, so that we can turn on Portugal. Spain I don't think will align with anyone, so we should be able to take them out, especially as we are in France. Once we have Spain, we can go for Portugal. Portugal very often goes for the Entente, and at that point we will be drawn into war against the Entente. Not the worst thing ever, but we will lose our naval superiority, because I'm still fairly certain that their navies can beat mine. Although I am working on more dockyards in Trieste, and I will be upgrading my fleet, they still just have more numbers. Actually, speaking of navies, I should probably send you home. Where are you? Oh, Fenris. Old buddy, old chap, old thing. Where are you? You're up in the North Sea. Then yes, I will send you home. We'll have you based out of Trieste. Off you go. Are you sailing? You're sailing. Good. Yeah, going for Germany, we could. I kind of want Germany to try mixing things up themselves, either going after Russia or possibly going after France. The reason I am so keen to go after Portugal is because Portugal has by far the largest tungsten supplies, and we're going to need tungsten because I want to go medium tank heavy. We haven't even started researching them yet, but Austria probably, having looked at the different companies, has the best medium tanks. So we've already got the Wiener Neustädter Locomotive Fabric, which gives us plus 15% soft attack, hard attack breakthrough for medium tanks, and we're currently researching Skoda, which will allow us to then get to the Skoda company, which is a further 15% soft attack, so it's 30% increase in soft attacks for medium tanks, and then also 30% increase for hard attacks. So yeah, our medium tanks are going to be absurd. Spain is rightfully Habsburg land, that is true. Spain can be the emperor, or is the emperor. One of the EU4 loading screens is Spain is the emperor, isn't it? One of like the thingies. Belgrade Congress argues for a new order on the Balkans. On the initiative of Serbia, several countries have convened in Belgrade to discuss the political and military situation in the Balkans. During this Congress, a new military alliance was founded, the so-called Belgrade Pact. This is clearly aimed against our former ally Bulgaria, of whom the countries have lost territory in the Weltkrieg. If we openly announce our support for Bulgaria, we may keep the Belgrade Pact from declaring war on them. This is where I'm going to play geopolitics. I am probably going to avoid Balkan entanglement simply because I want Bulgaria to actually lose the war. And that is so that the Austrians, having seen the fall of their former ally, can come in and restore order to all of the nations of the Balkans and institute direct control from Vienna. But hey, that's the secondary point. So we are going to avoid Balkan entanglements. Actually, the Ottomans might decide to get involved, which would be interesting, although you are still fighting Egypt. And I have a feeling this fight here is going to take a long time. A very, very long time. American Union State, you are paternal autocrat, aren't you? And we are social conservative? We are. Alright. So we've finished Skoda. We'll get at 150 points so that we can get the Skoda company. bunch more people just cancelled non-aggression. Of course, the Netherlands joined the Entente. Not seen that before, but that's going to be interesting. If Germany goes to war with the Entente, then the Entente has a way in through the Netherlands from the start. They don't need to do a landing. That is, if they can actually hold the Netherlands. They'd have to react pretty darn quickly. Alright, you guys are still training. You're almost done. No, you need to build a line as well. That's true. I own Bohemia. Bohemia is currently unguarded. So let's say that we're going to do something like this. No. Better plan. Bohemia, you're going to control this part. And your objective is going to be Berlin. That's Nemunda. That's the wrong person. So that's your objective. Off you go. Then once you're trained, you can go and join them, and that also gives you some Alpine troops. We did just upgrade the Alpine troops, I believe. Yes, we did. They are now really quite tough. Okay, Skoda's done, so we are now purposefully not going to take a focus so that we can recover political power rather more quickly. We've got atomic power, which means that we can get research faster. It's still 41. There is no tech here. I think I would like some more of the decryption. However, my puppets are in the technology sharing thing, so I might wait for them to finish developing those and instead get encryption as soon as possible. Then once we have encryption, we can probably start working on the medium tanks, because that should be able to coincide with roughly when we get the medium tanks. Okay, so this was here. Let's get engineer companies just so we can continue improving you. India's cancelled non-aggression, that's fine. You guys are almost done training. In fact, you two have to train basically from scratch. You guys, however, are finished. So let's have you go and join that force. We'll see how the Illyrians fight. Wow, he's a really good general. We did get a lot of combat experience from fighting there. We didn't get so much experience for our forces because we kept on changing the division templates. But the commanders got a lot, so that's very good. Claudio, Flavor, Eloy, thank you very much for the follow, appreciate that. French Republic cancelled their thing. I wonder if the French Republic focus works on me. Return to the continent. Declares war on the Commune of France. No, I am not the Commune of France. It's not whoever the owner is, it's literally the Commune. Okay, good to know. India cancelled non-aggression. Looks like they need Austrian diplomats to restore relations and ensure no war in the future. Well, everyone's cancelling non-aggression because we basically had a common foe in the Internationale, but now the Internationale has been beaten in 1941. Actually, that's probably one of the earliest times I've ever seen the Internationale beaten by. Because even when you're playing as Germany, that war doesn't tend to kick off until like 1940. So there is definitely a very big change in terms of the situation. Italy, you're really training 41 troops in the same tile. And yet you only seem to be suffering attrition from the training itself. What is the support? Oh, it's because Italian units are like 2 infantry, aren't they? Okay, never mind. Once we have positive, I might start fabricating. Maybe, possibly, perhaps. We could also upgrade our radar, though I haven't built any yet. Ooh, no, we need to get these. Plus 50% research time, thank you very much. Actually, having this multi-research group with lots of puppets is actually pretty potent. I had not considered that as being a part of why puppets are a good thing. But apparently they are. Alright, someone's training me troops. You are all auxiliary. However, you are all auxiliary that need training. Because even my auxiliary troops are fully trained to regular status. So we can do that. Are we still building ships? Yeah, how's this looking? We're getting a nice surplus of fighters, but that's something which we're always going to be running low on. We really need to import some more goods. Right, who are we going to buy this from? I think it's going to have to be one of the minions. I just hate how expensive they are. So who are we getting troops from? We're getting from England, from Italy, and from Illyria. So I think we might need to buy from one of the others. Like France, eventually, I'm hoping to get troops from, so I don't really want to get it from them. How are the combined syndicates producing so much steel? Oh, it's of America. I was thinking it was Italy for some reason. Okay, never mind. Right. Yeah, I'm going to buy it from Hungary. It's going to be over, but it's only one factory. That should be just fine. And then we have to basically do the same thing for aluminium. We could buy it from Hungary. I kind of want to spread it out a bit more. We'll buy the aluminium from France. They'll benefit from having a factory.